Which way is it blowing?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Barry.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good.
All right.
I listened to your album last night.
Good.
The new one, fantastic.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to roll in 5, 4, 3, 2. My first question is actually to any of you, because I know you all have your answers, and that's why are you back together after 15 years with a new album and a tour and everything else?
Mr. Palmer.
A very good friend of ours, Phil Carson, flew into London with a project for us, which was basically a film score. And we met up with him and we spoke to him about writing some film music. He actually didn't have a film score for us to look at, but he said, think about the idea. Anyway, we did. Anyway, to cut sort of a long story short, we went off and we rehearsed for about 2 or 3 weeks, and we came up with an abundance of material. And on Phil's return to London to speak to us about continuing the project, i.e. the film score, we said, listen, as far as we're concerned, we've got enough music here. We can make an album, and we'd rather do that. And basically, he would prefer an album to a film score, and that was it. And we found that the first month working together was very creative. Very quick. A lot of ideas were flowing, and that was it. Hence the Black Moon album. And then we went into, I think, a further 3 months or whatever rehearsal prior to recording.
Do you guys worry at all about, in a sense, competing for the pop charts with the latest pop, rap, all that stuff?
We don't look at it as a competitive situation. I think, music for us is a creative thing. Obviously, we want, we'd like to think that people like the record and enjoy it, but we don't look at it as a competitive situation. First and foremost, ELP is a live concert group. Our music, really, when we create our music, we create it for live performance.
What, in coming back, do you think has changed in 15 years? Anything?
Technology has changed a tremendous amount. I remember when we were touring in the late part of the 70s that it was a little bit frustrating for me not to be able to do all of the lines on the album because of overdubbing and whatever. But since that time we've seen the introduction of MIDI and digital synthesizers, and it's augmented the sound of this band considerably.
When you guys go on tour, I believe your first date is July 24th.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's right.
That's right, yeah.
A little nervous?
Yeah. We're very excited too. We're going to be playing something from all the past albums. There's in fact a record coming out shortly after the Black Moon record, which is a sort of retrospective called The Atlantic Years, on which we have all the best pieces that we recorded throughout the 70s. And what we hope to do is to play all of that live, and also, of course, some of the music from the new record. So that'll be the music of the show, and of course there'll be some surprises.
Now you guys are actually going to be also releasing a compilation record of the greatest?
Yeah, this is what I was telling you. It's called The Atlantic Years.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a selection, really, of the most significant pieces that we did throughout the 70s.
Now, isn't there also an unreleased piece on that?
I'm honestly not sure.
No, I don't think there is. It's a double CD sort of pack, as it were. But I don't think there's nothing there that hasn't been released before.
I hear in my headphone that it's I Believe in Father Christmas, so
Right.
Okay.
maybe that's what it is.
Hasn't
Okay.
been,
Sorry about that. Doing this new album, what changes can we find in the music? Do you think that you guys have grown quite a bit in 15 years?
I think we've benefited from our time apart. It's certainly, I think, perhaps when we came back together again, we rediscovered the chemistry of ELP, and I think we probably appreciate each other more now than we did then. When we were younger, we had sort of blinkered vision, and it was just straight ahead. And I think the time apart has helped us to realise each other's value a lot. But it's still I mean, it's still the music of ELP, which is European influenced music as opposed to black or blues influenced music, which sets it aside. It's something different.
I know it's a strange question, but what do you guys listen to? Obviously, you don't play your albums over and over.
No.
A wide variety, really. Anything from classical, jazz. Wide variety. Personally, I like bands like ZZ Top on the commercial sort of front, as it were.
What do you think of music the way it is now in the '90s? The main or the pop people, such as the Hammers or the rap. Is this what you thought it would be in the '90s?
I personally think that there is a bit of abuse of technology. I mean, to me, a lot of the music today seems to lack personality and identity. I mean, in the 70s, you would listen to Led Zeppelin, ELP, The Who, The Stones, and you would know very quickly when you started playing the record who that was, because they had a personality and an identity. I think a lot of the music today, not all of it perhaps, but a lot of it is made by one man on one computer, and he's sort of everything. He's the whole band, and I think in some cases the music does lack an identity.
Where would you guys like to be in another 5 years? Will we see more albums?
I think so. Yes. I mean, we're planning on it. Not only another studio album as the time goes by, but we're also going to be recording on this particular tour, and we'll put together a live album at some stage. And with the video, we have a documentary, sort of archive material, and we'll film some more here in America probably as time goes by. So there's quite a lot of product to come from Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Now, this documentary, this is not out yet, or?
It's not out yet. It'll be archive material, some of the things you might have seen before, and some of the things which have basically only ever been shown in Europe, coupled up with new stuff in footage, concert, and interviews and what have you. And the making of the last record actually is the other thing we want to put in there, just to give it a complete status, as it were.
How would you describe your music and concerts to some of the younger generations who have not or are not familiar with it?
Pretty eclectic. That's one word I'd use. Mainly because we draw from all sources, really. We go right from acoustic pieces to full-blown, orchestral sounds and everything else. We encompass the whole frequency range, I think, of music.
And Carl, a question for you. Drumming. With the new synthesizers and all the new music, how has this affected your drumming?
Well, it's helped considerably. Technology has really helped the drummer. If you've got the time to go through sounds and sample things like I've had to and layer sounds up, it's very fruitful. There's a lot more you can gain now from the drum set. I think a lot of the rap records, whilst I'm not crazy over the artists themselves, there's quite a few samples as far as the drums are concerned which are devastating, and that kind of encouraged me in a way to sort of get a little further into the electronic side of things for percussion, which I did do on this album, and I'm sure if you've heard the track Black Moon you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Dealing with sampling for a second, what do you guys feel about all this latest music where people actually take parts of songs that that were done 10, 20 years ago and use it on their own?
I think it's a bit of an abuse of technology. I think the one thing about music is that it should be original. I mean, if you could imagine a painter just continually putting out the same painting, copying the same painting, I mean, it wouldn't be right. I mean, the whole thing is you want a new painting, and I think with music it's good that it's original. I think that the word original should return to music. We want new things.
I think a lot of this music that you're referring to basically has been made by non-musicians, to tell you the truth. A lot of them don't really understand the instrument, understand the computer, the sample or whatever, and they tend to think that that's a clever way of going through the creative process by taking things from other records. But it's not original, and quite honestly, that is just for me, I consider that to be cheating the public. I mean, why do that? I mean, music should be fresh and new, and it should be original, ideally.
For my final question, rather quickly, what could you guys, what is the most exciting thing of this comeback to you?
Wow.
Oh, the most exciting thing?
The tour, the new album, what excites you?
Well, for me, it's the new equipment that I'm getting to play with, and that's the most exciting thing, I think. I have on the stage with me everything which I've pretty much used in the past, going right from the Moog to the Hammond, to the piano, all the way through up to like the latest of what's just been invented, really. So that's exciting for me.
I appreciate the time that you've all spent with us, and good luck this summer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
Thank you.
It's a wrap.